I'm Jolene Wynn, and this is the Porn Addict's Wife podcast, episode number 98, It's Not Fair. Your life does not have to revolve around your husband's pornography addiction. You are not defined by his choices or by what he sees on a screen. You are not just the porn addict's wife. You are so much more. In this podcast, I'm going to teach you how to go from handling it to healed, because I've been where you are and you don't have to stay there. My name is Jolene Wynn. I'm a member of the LDS faith, a certified life coach, and a wife of a former porn addict. And this is a podcast for the porn addict's wife. All right, ladies, I have two very important things that I need you guys to keep in mind. Are you ready? Number one, Rob and I are starting our very first men's group on April 14th. We are so excited about this. We are going to take 8 men through, and it will be 4 months long. And we're so excited. This is not an accountability group. This is a deep dive program. We are creating an online course and combining that with coaching to help men who want to overcome their pornography addiction once and for all. This is the hard work. This is going deep and figuring out the root of the problem, digging it up, and removing it once and for all. This is the exact same process that Rob used. This is the exact same process that I use with my clients to do the deep work and finally conquer this thing. So if the gentleman in your life is ready to finally put this behind him, I want to encourage you to sign up ASAP. Okay, there are only 8 spots. One of them is already taken, and this is going to fill up. Simply head to my website, jolenewynn.com, and sign up for a free consultation call. Your husband will get on a call with either Rob or myself, and that is how we're going to go ahead and sign you up. So if your husband is ready to do the deep work and overcome this thing, let's go. I'm so excited about this. The other thing that I want you guys to keep in mind is that if you have been thinking about joining my coaching program, there has never been a better time. The introductory price that has been offered since January for my lifetime group is going up on April 1st. So if you want to get in, now is the very best time before prices go up. I've been so excited about the women who have already joined this year, and I cannot wait to see who else comes along. So if you are ready to finally put this behind you and do the deep work yourself, let's go. Come join me. Head to my website, jolenewynn.com. You can sign up right away, or you can sign up for a free consultation call with me. You and I will get on the phone. We'll chat all about it, and we'll see if it's the right fit for you. If you guys are ready to put this behind you, I cannot wait to teach you everything, all of the how of finally letting this go and moving forward. So head to my website, jolenewynn.com, and I'll see you soon. Hello, my ladies. How are you guys doing? You guys, today is a good day. Do you guys want to know why? I just finished editing my manuscript for my book. So here's what happens. Here's how I did it. I don't know if all book editing and writing is like this, but here's the process for me. So the company that I am working with that is helping me publish my book, since I know literally nothing about this, is I wrote my manuscript and I sent it in, and they looked it over and they said, okay, we can do 2 things. We can either just tell you kind of an overview, or we can go line by line and edit it. And I said, all right, please go line by line and edit it. And they did. And that was a couple of weeks ago that I got it back. And you guys, the amount of work I have had to do in my brain to overcome my own thoughts and my own feelings in order to even just look at it was insane. I just have so much self-doubt. No one's going to read this, probably except for my mom. No one wants to know this. You're not a good writer. This doesn't make any sense. How are you going to do this, right? All of these things. And so I finally worked through all of those, and I looked at it, and I just finished editing it, and I sent it back to the publisher where they will look at it again just to make sure it all still flows. Then we'll lock it in and get it published, which will still be a couple of months. But that's what I just finished today on this afternoon, because I said I'm not going to bed tonight until this is done. And now it's done. And do you want to know what? I thought I would feel super relieved. I really did. I was like, man, I'm just going to get this done, and then I will feel better. No, I should know better by now. Ladies, right? Because the things that our circumstances don't create our feelings, okay? Because I sent that off, and my thought is, what if it's still terrible? Now I still have so much to do, and I'm behind on all these other things. Anyway, my brain is just my brain, but I am glad that I have that edited and sent back in. And now I get to talk to you guys, which I'm super excited about. One thing though, real quick before we dive in, is I wanted to remind y'all that this week, what day is the 31st? On March 31st is the last day, Thursday, March 31st is the last day of my introductory price for my program. So right now my program is $2,500 for lifetime access, ladies. It's a killer deal. And that is going up on April 1st. So if you have been thinking about coming and joining and money has been your biggest hang up, now is the best time to get in because the price is going up on April 1st. So I know there are so many of you are wondering, like, is this for me? Is it the right time? Here's what I want to tell you. This program is not for everybody. Do you want to know who it's for? I'll tell you who it's for. It is for the woman who has tried everything else and that hasn't worked, who's been to couples counseling, who's been to therapy, and is still searching for more because they still feel unsettled and still feel stuck. This is for the woman who maybe hasn't been to therapy or to counseling, but still feels stuck and still feels unsettled and is still trying to wrestle with all of the emotions that you feel that were brought on because of your husband's pornography addiction. If you are ready to finally let that go and to feel relief from that, then this is for you. It's as simple as that. It is possible. Ladies, I was talking to my husband about this the other day, and we were talking about what it could be like for y'all, right? And I want you to imagine sitting on the couch and not worrying about what's on his phone. Imagine seeing him across the room and he's on his phone and you don't have anxiety about it. Imagine laying in bed next to him and he turns to kiss you and your first thought isn't, why is he kissing me right now? Did he see something today? Is this just an attempt for him to try and manage his addiction? Imagine you could go out to dinner and there's going to be an attractive waitress that comes and serves your table and your first thought isn't, I wonder if my husband is thinking about her. Imagine being able to plan a vacation to a beach where you'll be in a swimsuit and he'll be in a swimsuit and there will be so many other people there in swimsuits and you're not even worried about it. You don't even think twice about it. Why? Not because he isn't struggling with it, but because you have learned how to control your brain and your emotions rather than living a life where you are controlled by them. That is what I teach. That is what we do in my program. And I'm telling you, ladies, the progress that I have seen in this group, we have an amazing, unparalleled collection of women in this program right now. And they are flying. They are making so much progress. And every single week they share the things that they are learning and all the progress that they're making. And I want you guys to come join. Okay? So if you've been thinking about it, now is the time. Don't think about it one more day. Don't stay stuck for one more moment. All you have to do is go to my website, joleneWynn.com. You'll be able to sign up directly. You can just pay it all in full so it can be done. Or you can do a payment plan, whichever works best for you. But remember, on April 1st, my price is going up. So if you've been wanting to come in, there is no better time. Ladies, let's go. All right? Okay, ladies. Oh, also, real quick, if your husband, the love of your life, wants to come join the men's program that we are starting, we do still have some spaces left. So all you have to do is have him sign up for a consultation call on my website. You go to joleneWynn.com. On the top, there's a bar there, and you can sign up for a free consultation call. And he can sign up for one and chat with me and let me know that he is interested and he wants in, and he can learn how to overcome his pornography addiction once and for all, and it can be totally behind him. So if he is ready, this is not an accountability program. This is doing the deep work, just like it is in the women's program. So if he's ready for it, have him schedule it, and we can talk about it and get him going as well. Can you imagine, ladies? How cool would it be? Imagine your life 4 months from now if both you and your husband joined coaching and you guys both worked on yourselves. Oh my gosh, can you imagine what your life would be like if you did that? How it could move forward. And even if he doesn't want to, even if he's not there yet, even if he's already past it, imagine if you did it. Imagine what your life could look like 1 month, 2 months, 3 months from now, 6 months from now. if you joined and you were willing to do the work to move forward. Your life could be completely different. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay. Come join us, ladies. It's amazing. Okay, today, ladies, I wanted to talk to you guys about fairness. This is something I hear all the time from my clients. Some clients in particular like to hold on to this idea of fairness. It's not fair. Ladies, I think this is something we do a lot too, especially as moms, but as wives. It's not fair. I do all of the cooking and the cleaning and the housework, and it's not fair that he doesn't help, right? Or it's not fair, I'm always the one that has to be the bad guy with the kids. Or it's not fair, we always have to go see his family more than we go see my family, or whatever it is. It's not fair that I'm the one that has to do all of the emotional work when he's the one with the addiction. Have you thought that before? Most of my clients have, right? Most of us harbor some kind of an idea of it's not fair. It's not fair that I have to work so hard. It's not fair that I have to be the emotionally stable one. It's not fair that I have to be the one that doesn't have the addiction, right? Even though we don't want an addiction, sometimes our brain thinks it's not fair that we don't because we're the ones doing all the work and facing the brunt of the consequences of his choices, right? It feels very much in our brains that he's in a have his cake and eat it too kind of situation, right? Where he gets to stay married to a wonderful wife, but he also gets to watch pornography. Now, that is a discussion for another day to go more in depth, but if you've heard me talk to Rob about it, that is not at all what it's like, right? There is so much shame, so much guilt, so much self-loathing, so much self-hatred that pornography addicts are going through internally that we just don't see. And so our brain can only see what's external, and it wants to see how it's not fair. It wants to see how things are not the same. Now, what I'm going to offer you guys today, you guys are probably not going to like, so bear with me. This is a little bit of a tough love episode, okay? You guys ready? Okay. If you guys coach with me, we do some tough love, but it's all in an effort to get you moving forward and get you unstuck. And one of the things that I want you guys to know is that you've been operating under the incorrect definition of the word fair. Okay? We're using the word wrong, okay? Here's what I want to tell you. If you look up the word fair in the dictionary, here's what it says. In accordance with the rules or standards. That's what it means. It doesn't say equal. And yet our brain often thinks we use the word fair as if it's a synonym for the word equal, and it's not. Okay, ladies, look at that definition again. Things that are fair are in accordance with the rules. They're operating under the rules. Now, the rules might not mean that everybody wins. It might not mean that everybody gets the same, right? Think about the rules of a game. Think about any sport, okay? The rules of a game in any sport, the person, the team who scores the most points wins. That is fair, even though it's not equal, okay? Even though it's not the same. Do you guys see what I'm saying? We often misuse the word fair. If things are not the same, then we say, that's not fair. But as I tell my kids, and they get so tired of hearing, just because it's not equal doesn't mean it's not fair. Just because it's not the same doesn't mean it's not fair. As long as it's operating under the rules, it is fair. Even if it's unequal. Okay, I know, I know this is not how we're used to thinking of this word, but I really want you guys to let this sink in, because here's the important piece of this, is that when you think about your life and you think about your marriage and you think this isn't fair, what you mean is it's unequal. What you mean is he's having his cake and eating it too, and I'm left with the brunt of the emotions. What you mean is I want him to be as miserable as I am. That's what you mean. You want him to suffer as much as you're suffering. You want it to be equal. But just because it's not equal, ladies, doesn't mean it's not fair. Doesn't mean that it's operating not within the boundaries or the rules of life. Here are the boundaries and rules of life. It's 50-50. Right? As God created, it's opposition in all things. We have light and darkness, sadness and happiness. evil and good, right? Opposition. We have the polar opposites. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Those are the laws, those are the rules that our life operates under. Sometimes, ladies, the decisions that other people make have consequences that affect us. We may not like it, but it is fair. It doesn't mean that it's equal. It doesn't mean it's the same, but it means that it's operating under the rules, even if we don't like it. Now, the reason that I really want to bring this up is because so many of you and so many of my clients really get stuck here, get stuck in this it's not fair. And here's the thing, it's not fair feels really good. It's not fair feels awesome, but it keeps you the victim. Okay? It's not fair means I didn't do anything wrong and I'm being punished. You're not being punished. And thinking that you're being punished means you're the victim, and it means he's the villain. Ladies, as I always say, as long as there's a victim, there needs to be a villain. And if you always see him as the villain, you are never going to be able to move forward because you will keep thinking in your brain that you are stuck where you are because of what he's done. And that means in your brain that it's up to him to change before you can move forward. And nothing could be further from the truth. Ladies, nothing. Just because it's not the same doesn't mean it's not fair. Now, let me tell you this. This does not mean that you deserve it. Okay? There are going to be so many that are going to object to this and think, what, are you telling me that I deserve to feel hurt? No, not at all. Just because it's not equal doesn't mean you deserve everything that you're feeling and going through. Absolutely not. Okay? That is not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that sometimes there are consequences to other people's actions that affect us. And that is fair because it operates under the rules of living within a life where we include other people. If you didn't want to be affected by other people's choices, then you shouldn't be around any other human ever. It's something that we are willing to do because we're willing to risk having negative emotion, having the, facing consequences of other people's choices because we want other people in our life. I was willing to risk so that I could have my husband. I'm willing to risk feeling negative emotion and stay with him because I want him. I choose that, right? That makes it fair. Doesn't mean it's equal, but it does mean that it's fair. Okay, ladies, I want you to challenge this thought in your brain of it's not fair. Who says it's not? What if it is fair? What if it's operating under all of the laws and all of the rules that it's supposed to? What if it's okay that it's not equal? Why do I want it to be equal? What does that even mean? What does that even look like? Is it only equal? What's equal? Is it equal if I pick up a pornography addiction myself? Is it equal if he feels just as much negative emotion as I do? Because here's the truth. He could already be feeling just as much negative emotion as you are. It's just different negative emotion. And in fact, probably a lot of it is the same. Worthlessness, rejection, loneliness, anxiety. Guys, I guarantee you he is feeling all of those emotions. Okay, and even if he's not, so what? Why do you want it to be equal? Why do you want it to be the same? Why do you want him to feel everything that you're feeling? Usually, it's because we have a thought. If he just understood how I'm feeling, if he just felt the way that I feel, then he'd change. If he knew how much this hurt me, he wouldn't do it. Ladies, those are all lies. All of it is in an attempt to manipulate ourselves. It's just our brain wanting to keep us hurt in this false belief, in this lie that if we do so, if we stay hurt, if we keep ourselves the victim, that will somehow change his behavior. If he knew how much it hurt me, he'd stop. If he could feel just as hurt as I'm feeling, then he'd stop. No, ladies, it's not true. Even if he felt everything you're feeling, you don't get to be in charge of his behavior. He still has a choice. Okay? But that means that you have a choice too. You do not have to keep yourself hurt. You do not have to keep yourself stuck in an attempt to try and make him stop so that you can feel better. Because for those of you whose husband hasn't been looking for a while, you know that even if he's not looking, You still feel negative emotion. Why? Because it doesn't come from his behavior. It comes from your thoughts. Okay, ladies, I told you this was a tough love episode. I love you. Life is fair, even if it's not exactly the same. And anytime you hear that in your brain, I want you to challenge it, because it's only a thought. It's only a belief that is going to keep you stuck. Only a thought that is going to prevent you from moving forward. And you know what you deserve? You deserve to move forward. But you're going to have to take the first step. Nobody can do that for you. He can't do it for you. I can't do it for you. I can help you take the next 500 steps, 5 million steps if you come join coaching, but I can't take that first step for you. You have to do that. You are the only one in control of your brain. You are the only one in charge of your brain. You are the only one in control and in charge of your thoughts and your feelings. And this, ladies, again, is the best news I could ever give you, because that means that you can decide right now to change the trajectory of your future, and you get to do it, and no one can stop you. Ladies, you have the power. Life is fair, even if it's not the same. So what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do next with it? All right, ladies, I love you so much, and I'll talk to you next week. Take care. All right, ladies, if you are loving what you are learning on the podcast, I want to invite you to come join my coaching program. This is where we take it to the next level, and we actually start applying and learning the how of moving forward. This podcast has taught you the what, and the coaching program is where you're going to learn the how. This is where you learn how to actually start moving forward, process all of that pain that you feel, and let it go once and for all. If you are ready to finally move forward and stop living a life that revolves around your husband's pornography addiction, then I want to invite you to come join me today. Just head to my website, joleneWayne.com, and sign up today. I can't wait to see you there.